Hello, everybody, and thank you all so much for joining us today. My name is Jonah. I'm from Discover, and today we are talking to Konstantinos. How you doing, man?
Hello, man. I'm perfect.
Yeah,
It's a cold day. It's a cold day in Athens, where I am. It's one of the rare moments in Athens that the days are cold and rainy. But still, I'm doing things that I love, and I'm here to talk with you and to give value to people that I love so much doing. So I
yeah,
couldn't be more excited.
yeah. What is? Just curious. What is cold in Athens? Because I'm based out of Minneapolis, so what is?
Okay. I mean, this discussion doesn't make sense anymore because cold right here is like I don't know, 15 degrees, 12 degrees Celsius, which is like I don't know, 16 degrees Fahrenheit or something. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah.
So
Oh, but you got a
not
sweatshirt on.
relevant. Yeah, it's not relevant for you. I know.
Love it. But first, just to acknowledge, thank you everyone for joining us today. You're already blowing up the chat, so feel free to keep doing that. Let us know where you're tuning in from, what you're excited to learn today. Just a couple people already just calling out, shouting out, the man of the moment. Excited to be here. This is going to be awesome. So thank you all for being here. Feel
Hello,
free to
guys.
drop, yeah, right. Feel free to drop any questions you have during the event. We'll try to answer them during the event. If not, we will have like a dedicated Q&A afterwards. So we're not ignoring you. If we don't get to your question, we'll get to it near the end. And also, if you have to get up away from the computer or life happens or things are moving fast and you want to come back to any of this, there will be a replay available. It'll be here on the YouTube. It'll be on the event page, the Discover event page, and it'll also be emailed to you along with the course offer, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And just to make sure you're in the right place, which I think you all are, we are here to talk about how to build your brand and scale to six figures through TikTok. And if you're anything like me, I was fanatic about TikTok when it first came out just as a consumer and then quickly realized like, well, people are actually like lives are changing. They're making a lot of money and growing a huge following on this app. And so I'm very excited to be here and talk to you, Konstantinos. And yeah, do you want to just, before we get started, introduce yourself to anyone who may not know you? Let them know kind of what you do, how
Yeah,
you came to TikTok, and yeah, a little bit about
sure.
you.
So many people, I get many comments on TikTok, which is funny. People believe that I'm a mogul or something. I'm somebody who has tons of money. I don't have any job, and all I do is TikToking. Well, this is not the case. I'm like 22 years in marketing. So uh, I'm an MBA graduate. I've been working on marketing since I was 18 years old. I worked for Procter& and Gamble at Diageo as a marketing executive, as a marketing manager, managing big brands and big teams. And 6, 7 years ago, I realized that digital is the game. Digital is where everything's going to shift, both business-wise or marketing-wise or even life-wise, as we see with metaverse and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, I need to change my course of my career, educate myself, because in terms of digital, I had zero knowledge. I had no clue about it. I was just good with my laptop and my PC because I was really, uh, a geek. I always loved, PC stuff and gaming stuff. So I was really excited about, being able to do things digitally. But in the digital marketing side, I had no experience, nothing. I didn't even know what impressions meant in terms of, running ads online. So I said to myself, okay, this is the time. I was always, a creative person and entrepreneurial person. So I jumped into the startup world. Back then, it was really popular. I created a sports startup. Took Raised some investment. We got some awards. We were awarded in Greece, in US, in UK. And then digital marketing became my full focus. I realized that it's the game. I created an agency. We are 20 people right now. It's a big agency. We're working abroad with several clients. And last year, 9 months ago, actually, trying to differentiate myself, trying to find new ways to create leads, to generate content, to get my name out there. I said, okay, TikTok is something that I've been ignoring for a long time. Okay, I saw the hype during the first lockdown. I was like, maybe it's not yet the time for businesses to jump in. Maybe they're not relevant. Maybe they're going to be made fun of, from people. It's
Right.
all about students and kids jumping in challenges and dancing around and stuff like that. So I was like, maybe my effort is not going to be worth, being towards TikTok. So I was like, okay, let's stick to YouTube. Let's stick to article writing. Let's stick to Instagram. And then the second lockdown hit us last year, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump on TikTok. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it for at least a couple of months to see, if there is anything for me in there, and see how it goes. I mean, if you want to give a fair experiment and a fair chance to anything business-wise, you need to say that, okay, for a couple of months, I will make an experiment, which means I will stay consistent every single day or whatever the
Mhm.
frequency that I believe that is worth having means for me. Because many people, this is where they get it wrong. They believe that, giving a chance to something means, showing up whenever they feel like, or a
Right.
couple of times per week, or
Right.
whenever they have something to say. Well, this is not the case. Okay, you can never understand the full potential and the dynamic of a platform or an attempt or an entrepreneurial effort if you don't invest systematic um, effort and consistency in terms of bringing something valuable out there. So that's how I ended up, trying TikTok. The first results were really impressive, and that's how it took a big piece of my time every single day the last 9 months.
Right. Right. That I love that though, because it did at first kind of seem like TikTok was just for like influencers, but not necessarily businesses yet, right? So I know you mentioned the lockdown, but I'm just curious, like, did you start seeing other businesses on there? Were you just experimenting, or like, what was the switch where you were like, wait, this is really valuable?
First of all, I believe that TikTok is the greatest opportunity in the history of the internet. That's what my course says also in the introduction, and that's what I honestly believe because I
Hmm.
experienced it. That I mean, I reached an audience of 1.6, 1.7 million people following within 9 months. This
That's
is something.
crazy.
Something. It's crazy. I mean, you can never do that with another platform. And guess what? I did that with a business account, with me talking, not dancing or showing my beautiful abs or whatever, but it was me. It was me giving business tips, which is not something common. I mean, there is a small group of people that are really interested in marketing and digital marketing and entrepreneurship and digital stuff. But still, you see the dynamic and the fact that every single business out there right now has a place on TikTok. I've seen car washing companies having millions of followers, showcasing extreme results, or
Mhm.
the transformation from a very dirty car to a brand new one, or
Right.
and PC repairing companies showcasing simple stuff on how to repair your laptop yourself or how to make it even faster or whatever. So whatever you can think about and think of, it has a place on TikTok, because guess what? Attention was never so underpriced as it is right now on TikTok. You can really reach millions of people from your first video with zero
Right.
following. So if you don't realize that this is a huge opportunity, I cannot say anything more. TikTok reached 1 billion users faster than any other platform before.
Yeah.
Uh, the demographics are growing constantly in terms of the age of people that are on the platform, right? So at the beginning it was like 13 to 18 was like, I don't know, 50, 60% of the platform. Now the demographic of 20 to 30 is like 50% of the platform. So it's a
Yeah.
big one. And
My
you
dad
cannot really.
started liking my
Yeah,
videos, so I know it's growing, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And the other mind blowing fact is that every social media, the heart of every social media, is the recruitment base. So
Mm.
the young age that enters the platform, those people are being trained in this platform, and they're going to be using it for at least a decade ahead. Look for Instagram, for example, right? Those ages right now are not anymore on Instagram.
Right. Right.
So guess which social media will be winning big time, right? In 3, 4, 5 years from today. And guess how well established people that are established in the platform today will be in 4 or 5 years from now.
Yeah.
So as I said to a post that I had on Instagram the other day, being on TikTok right now and trying to to build your footprint, your digital footprint on TikTok is like buying real estate on Manhattan in 1920.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, you see empty streets, you see empty places, and the prices are insanely low. So
Yeah.
that's how TikTok looks like now, and you still have time to jump in the platform, experiment, approach the platform in a selfless way and not a selfish one. What's it in for me? How can I win? How can I monetize? How can I get followers fast? It's not going to work like that. The first
Right.
priority always needs to be, what can I do that will make them happy? What can I do that will make
Mm,
them smarter or give them something that they don't know before? So that's the approach that works for me. And that's what I say to my course, also to people to do, because I've seen that people that tend to give everything they know away are the people that win more than anybody else. So
right.
that's the approach. And whatever you are, whatever is your industry or your niche, trust me, it's going to work if you do it
Right.
consistently.
Well, and so TikTok is unique though, because I know Instagram, you can take a course on how to do Instagram, and I've seen a lot of good like courses and good value in just like you can make images on Canva, you can, be very faceless. But TikTok, and I'm curious about the like a little more what your course offers in a little bit, but like want to ask a few questions because TikTok, you have to put your face on screen. So you have to get comfortable with yourself and making videos of yourself and being the face of your business. Like, first off, I'm curious if you covered that in your course, but also if you have any advice, like how do you get over that hump when maybe you've been hiding behind Canva graphics or other stuff to come to TikTok? You see all the dance videos, you see all of this. How do you find like your role within the app where you can be yourself, but still be working smart within the
Yeah.
algorithm?
So two things here. The first one is regarding what you said about how you find your role, and most of the times it's not you that finds the role. It's what the platform finds for you and what the audience that reacts to your content decides to do. So the algorithm of TikTok is something that I've never seen before. Nobody has seen before. It's super advanced, and the speed that really understand the type of your content, but also your likes and your interests as a consumer of content is insane. So whatever you put out there, I promise you, the algorithm will help you find the audience that are interested in this content.
Mm,
So this is something that you don't need to worry about. Okay, you don't need to worry. If 16 years old or 15 years old gonna be looking your, I don't know, your architecture tips about buildings or whatever. So the people that need to see your content will eventually see it. That's
mm,
how the algorithm works. Now, what I'm saying also in the course is that if you approach the platform with your clients in your perspective and your objective, you will never be able to build a massive audience. Okay, so you don't need to go in this platform in order to find clients. You need to go in this platform in order to build an audience, and that's why
mhm,
many times we're trying to broaden our needs because we can attract more people. So when I entered the platform, I was creating content in order to attract potential leads for my business, for my marketing agency, which is 6, 7, 8-figure businesses. Many times, the basic content that attracts millions of people in my videos are not the videos that will attract clients as well. But it
mm,
gives me a huge benefit of attracting many, many, many more people and becoming a huge, massive account that attracts also brands or business people or whoever, because now you have the magnitude to do it. So the digital footprint and the magnitude of the digital footprint that you can create with TikTok is the reason why you should approach your needs with a magnifying glass.
mm,
Okay, that's the that's what I preach, because this is what I experienced, and whatever I preach about TikTok is only based on my experience, nothing else, no theories, no what somebody else said or what somebody else has experienced. I've experienced something specific. That's what I teach to my students or my course or my one-on-ones or whatever.
Yeah. So, in that effort to find your niche, because I mean, say we'll just use the architecture as an example, right? How do you? And I know we can't go into like every little specific here, but just like a little advice on how you go about finding out what aspect of your niche is valuable in reaching a larger audience. Because I like there's architecture people who do like the top 10 craziest buildings in the world, but their actual business is about architecture, but they
Yeah.
figured out a way to niche into that. Do you have a little advice like when you first open the app, you're doing your initial research, like an approach to figuring out the value of your niche on the app?
Well, first of all, the way to understand the way to go on TikTok, because by nature is a simple platform, and it's a platform that by default the content, it's something that you need to consume within 10, 15, 20 seconds. You
Mhm.
cannot really go into detail about anything. Okay, so it's all about value shots, as I told them. So you have YouTube, which that you're gonna have and enjoy a long drink, for example, for 5, 6, 10, 15 minutes. And now you have TikTok with value shots. So you need to consume something fast. Okay. Uh, and that's why your content needs to be very simplistic, very simple, very basic, and explain things that many times you believe that they are not at the level of your knowledge. Okay.
Mm,
Because many times, when we are experts or when we are, deep into a subject, we really ignore the fact that many, many, many people, probably the majority of people out there, maybe like 90, 95% of people out there, don't know even the basic terms of the things that we believe that everybody knows. Okay. So if you're an architect and you believe that, I don't know, designing a square is something that everybody knows, guess what? They don't.
mm.
So that's how you become an authority and you help many, 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 many more people by going 2 levels down and start with the basics, educating
Mm.
people about how to do this, how to create a PNG document in my case, or how to make a Canva template in 5 minutes, which for me is like, okay, who doesn't know it? Yeah,
Right.
guess what?
Right.
95% of people don't know it.
Right.
So if you realize that, you see that there is a huge avenue of different kind of content pieces that you can create, which will be easy for you and very exciting for people that are gonna share it. So
Right.
that's how you broaden your niche, and that's how you approach TikTok.
I love that too because it gets over like a little bit of the imposter syndrome, right? Coming in being like, well, there's got to be someone who knows more than me. It's like, yeah, yeah, that's not what we're here for, right? But
Exactly.
so just moving on a little in like my logical train of TikTok. So you establish your niche, you understand you're there to like be yourself within the space. TikTok is going to deliver you to the people who want to see you. That's also, I just want to say, amazing because you used to have to pay so much money to get an advertising platform to do that. So the fact that that's free is wild. But then there's the TikTok trends, which we all know are are a valuable thing to hop on, but it's not always easy to figure out. Like, if you don't want to dance, you can still work it into your niche. How do you go
Yeah.
about that process? How do you pay attention? How important is it? How not? Just general, like, how do you work the trends into your business on TikTok?
As I told you before, I'm only speaking from experience. Okay,
Hmm.
I never jumped on any trend. I never used any trend. I never danced. I never created comic videos just for the sake of creating something that is popular right now. So value is always popular. Is the greatest trend ever. Okay, creating value is the greatest trend ever, and it's never gonna go away. So for me, this is the only trend that I care about. Sometimes, if I feel like I have an idea about a trend, I might jump on it. But what I see many people doing, and I really believe that hurts their identity, is that they're forcing their way into the trends. So there's a new one, somebody starts, awkwardly jumping around just to make sure that he's part of the game. Well, you don't need to. You don't need to. Okay. You don't need to start pointing things like that or jumping around or making crazy transitions with clothes being taken out. You are a business coach. You are a nutritionist. You are a lawyer. You are an architect. You don't need to make transitions with your clothes out. Okay.
Mm,
This was the reason why the platform created this hype with the youngsters because they were excited about that. It was funner than any other platform out there. But for you, there is a different approach. You don't need to jump in the trends. Become the trend. Create your own trends. Okay.
mm.
The thing that you need to care about is that attention span on TikTok is small. The organic growth pace is insane. So if you combine those two and you find ways to give value to people every single day, you're going to see miracles happening on the platform.
Love that. And we got some great questions coming in, by the way. Everyone, I'm going to ask those in a second. I want to just get through a couple, like kind of get through the logic of bringing your business to TikTok, and then we'll get to those. But just all right, keep popping them in there. We see you. We'll get to those. So just, I know I know in your course we've talked about kind of just getting comfortable getting on the app. I know in your course you talk about like very technical aspects, how to duet, how to stitch, all of that. I don't feel like here now we need to like get into the specifics of that because it's covered in the course.
Yeah.
Um, but the next thing that was fascinating to me and is fascinating on TikTok is I see I've seen creators who have 14 million followers who have no email funnels set up. And I'm wondering, like, how the heck are they making any money? Are they making money? Is it only brand sponsorships? And then I see creators with maybe like 20 to 100,000 followers who you can see have a calculated system set up for getting clients and actually making money. So, how, like, I know it's specific to your business and everything, but say you're on TikTok, you're established, you're feeling good about making content. Does it really work to make money on TikTok? How do you establish those systems? And like, is there just a general methodology? Because I know it can get specific.
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. And it's exactly a discussion I had yesterday with one of my students. Because, as you said, many people, because of the organic growth that we see on TikTok, which is insane, might become celebrities overnight, or they might have a tons of following overnight. But if you're not intentional from the get-go, or if you are in a different niche that it's not expensive or easy to monetize, it doesn't mean that having 5 million followers will lead you to getting to 6 or 7 figures.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if I had a channel with me making comedy stuff or dancing around or talking about, I don't know, my furniture or whatever, it wouldn't be so easy for me to monetize as the one that I'm doing now because I'm in a niche which is super rich and the amount of money that exists in digital marketing, in marketing, in startups, in big platforms that I showcase every single day, it wouldn't be so easy for me to monetize, but it's something that I knew from the beginning. And that's why I'm telling to people, define your identity, what exactly you're trying to do in the platform. So we said about the funnel. Okay, this is something that you build if you are a personal brand, if you're a brand, if you're a business. So the end goal for creating your TikTok account is to create traffic towards your funnel, your other social media accounts, your website, your whatever, your coaching program, stuff like that. So you need to be intentional from the beginning. No, and that's why I'm telling to people, don't just trying to do whatever everybody else is doing or jumping into trends. Because if you have an identity and an intention from the beginning, you don't just follow anything you see out there. You have an intention, you have a direction, you have a content strategy, you have a specification, you are targeting a specific needs, and you need to be smart about it and understand how, if within needs, I reach out, I don't know, 5, 6 million followers or 1 million followers or 500 or 100, how is this going to bring me closer to my end goal? So you need to define your end goal, your identity, and what you're coming to do in the platform. Because most people don't have this defined from the get-go. They're like, okay, let's go out and create content. Let's jump into this trend. Let's post this video about my vlog in my trip last week in Barcelona. This week I'm gonna showcase my cat dancing, and now I'm gonna do some business video as well. So they are all over the place, you know.
Right. Right.
There's no identity and nothing to be monetized about.
Right. Well, and so you're saying that it's good to be clear on that from the get go, or is there some value in building an audience, the kind of like build it, they will come, like build an audience and then figure out how to monetize it?
You need a balance there. So you need to be unintentional at the beginning. So I have a lecture in my course. It's all about that. So you need to be unintentional in terms of how to make money, because if you come into this platform with you trying to make money, you will never grow a following. Okay.
Right.
So, but still, you need to have this intention in the back of your hand and say, okay, this is the niche that I will choose, because I believe that if I make this trip and it's valuable for others, I might be at the point of creating a fitness channel that will attract Adidas, Nike, supplements, whatever. Okay, or even play in a movie. So
Right.
you need to have an intention at the beginning, but also be unintentional in terms of getting crazy about the following or the monetization part, or driving revenues, or getting branded partnerships.
Right. Well, and that's, to me, that's where TikTok is very unique, right? Is that you can, like, people will post stuff on TikTok that they would never post on their curated Instagram or even on their YouTube channel. So you can experiment a little more at first, right? Like, give yourself a break and try some stuff out.
Yeah,
Or do
definitely. I
you?
mean, there's no content creator that at least somebody who is doing that on a consistent basis that doesn't experiment with new things. Even for me, TikTok was a new experiment, because my content until then was totally different on TikTok or on Instagram or on YouTube, on my blog. Everything was different, and the approach that I followed on TikTok was again different. And that's what I say to people as well. If you jump on TikTok and you start training yourself to squeeze value in 15, 20 seconds videos, which is not easy. Okay, it's
Right.
not easy. It will make you a better content creator in any platform that you might go later to try your luck, or even in your business meetings, or even talking to a client, or even try to close a client in a personal meeting. So your presentation in a physical place. So whatever you do, this effort of jumping in on TikTok and trying to educate or give value in 15, 20 seconds is a massive personal development journey for you.
Right.
So, and this is the biggest asset that you're going to get.
That's such a great way to look at it, because I don't think I realized that right away. But after a couple months, I was like, wait, I'm just better at talking to people now. When I talk to a client, I'm better at like in person, I'm better at expressing what's valuable about what I can offer, why it's good. And I can do it in 30 seconds. I couldn't do that 6 months ago. So I appreciate that you mentioned that, because it's nice to know you're not just like dancing for the app. You're developing skills as a human being, right?
Yeah, that's the goal, and
Yeah.
I've seen it also to myself, because whether you believe it or not, I'm an introvert as a person. When I created my first video ever on Greek YouTube 4 years ago, I felt like I was exposing naked in front of a full stadium. So I was like, oh my god, how can I do that? And now I can open the live of TikTok and go in front of 1 million people, and I don't even care. Go with Gary V live or with Zuckerberg. I don't really
Right.
care. So it's a process. I created thousands of videos until the moment that I feel comfortable about that, or going live, or not even needing a script, or even preparing myself for a presentation or for a discussion or for a video. So that's a process that makes you better, makes you a better professional. Because guess what? Communication is something that you need in anything. Even if
Right.
you want to talk to a girl, or your husband, or your kids, or a client, or your next interview, whatever. So it's a
Yeah.
great process of training yourself. Even if you don't succeed in building a massive account, which I believe that if you consistently follow steps that we showcase every single day and we talk about, there's no way you cannot make it. That's what
Right.
I believe. If you have decent, at least decent content creation skills, so it's completely up to you and the tons of excuses that you say to yourself every single day.
Yeah. I love that. Well, I want to get to some of these questions in a minute because everyone is starting to ask any question I would ask, and they're really good. Before we hop into that, though, I just want to give you the opportunity. Everything we've talked about, I know you go into much more detail in your course. I also know you can go look at like Konstantinos, the outline for the course, and see all the things that are covered. You also do just help people out though in like how to make a video, right? Because that can be one of the most intimidating parts.
Yeah, and you asked about this before, and I didn't answer, I believe, because I tend to do that a lot. I start
Oh, we all do.
I start from Madrid and I end up in Athens, but but still. So you asked me, and I see here in the comments as well, so that somebody says that if I'm an introvert, then how can I do that? Because I think that many people are facing that. I faced that also in my first video, and I have to tell you that. Um, there are channels on TikTok that have millions of followers without showing a single face ever. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're either being smart about it, so they record the screen, or they showcase a landscape, or they do traveling, traveling videos without even just showcasing landscapes, or they have, copyright-free videos with a voiceover showcasing something and passing a message or whatever. So there are workarounds if you want to do it and you want to try it. But there's a but. As I told you before, what do you want to do in your career and your business and in these platforms? What are you trying to achieve? Because if you tell me that you want to build a personal brand and you don't want to show your face, we cannot discuss anymore. Okay,
Right,
there's a
right.
personal brand that is being hidden. If you want to be a persona that people come, because right now people come to me to work with Konstantinos. They don't
Right,
come to me because they love the screen that I showcase. They
right.
know this guy, this loud, uh, heavily cursing Greek guy in front of the screen, and they're like, "Oh, I like this guy. He's honest. He's authentic. I like what he does. I like his voice. So I want to work with them." And
Yeah,
I'm being consistent. I'm keep helping them every single day, and that's how you build trust. You can never build trust with a copyright-free video, or with an animated explainer, or with a mascot, or with a dummy. Okay, so yes, you can build a following. Yes, you can create value. You can create content that will generate views and people gonna see it and consume it, but it will never be the same from a personal brand point of view if people don't see your face ever.
right, right. Love that. Well, just to make clear for everyone watching, the course link is in the comments. It's pinned to the top. It's also in the description. Go check that out. It's discounted just for today. You can get it after that, but it's still on the pre-sale discount. Was there anything else you wanted to say about the course specifically before we dive into some questions, Konstantinos?
I created a business case, which I believe is something that is worth being read. At least, people should read how I started with the platform and how TikTok right now is a dedicated business for me, which is above six figures within 6 months. So I believe that many people would like to do that. Generating tens of thousands of dollars from TikTok per month or per day. Even I know people that make tens of thousands of dollars per day from TikTok. So as I told you before, this opportunity might never come again. Okay, I definitely believe that. It was never easier for anybody to become an influencer, to become a world-class celebrity, to become an international brand, to build a business that is all over the world. I mean, I was a Greek business that suddenly, within a year, I ended up having 60 million views of my videos in 40 days. I mean, where can you get that? Where can
Nowhere.
you get it?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. For free. For free. So, I mean, if you don't see the level of the opportunity here and you understand how much you can win with small investment of not just my course, by you entering the platform and trying to experiment and know stuff. Okay, you know, having somebody who showcases the path for you and tells you, you know, you need to do that stuff. And if you do it, because that's where most people fail, they never do the steps. Okay,
Hmm.
you can end up there. Maybe not in 1.5 million or 1.7 million, but still you can get a following of 100,000, 200,000, and still build a case and monetize through that and help your business and grow your other accounts or whatever, and maybe figure out a different way to make money later. Because I didn't even have all the options from the get-go. I had a route, but then when you go and you grow, you see different routes showing up, and
Right.
that's why it's exciting, this journey. You know, you start somewhere and you don't know where you will end up, and
Right.
this is exciting for me. I love it.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I appreciate that so much. Let's dive in. We got so many awesome questions here. Hybrid fault. I wanted to ask this one. It's talking about going from being in one country to being global. Hybrid fault is asking. I have a question for Konstantinos. How can someone influence people from another country, live in the UK, but would like to go ahead and find users in the US?
Okay, so in my case, I'm Greek. I live in Greece. I have a Greek phone with a Greek SIM card, and 25% of my audience, based on my demographics, is from US.
Wow. Okay.
15% is from UK. 10% is from Germany. I have Australia. I have Indonesia. I have Philippines. I have Balkans, and I have a small amount in Greece as well. So the way I did that was, first of all, to go with international content. So I need to speak English, because if I started TikTok with me talking in Greek, I would never go to the size that I'm right now, because the IP and the algorithm would understand that this is only for Greeks. And Greeks, guess what? So I have 1.7 million followers. I think the users of TikTok in Greece are like 800,000 or
Oh,
1
so you
million
can't even.
max.
Right.
So I would never be at that size. So what you're gonna do, if you wanna follow like a hack or something, you can get a US SIM card. Okay, so a US number, try in a new device, maybe download a VPN, and start creating content to see if the IP will change to US. So the first audience that's going to see your content is going to be people from US. But if you do things in English and your first videos go viral, at some point of time, people from all over the world are going to see you.
Right, right. You'll make trust the algorithm again, right? That's kind of the.
Yeah.
Sri was asking, do you suggest that someone uses a script when making videos? So some points, words written out, or just free word it?
Depends. I mean, depends on your skills to be authentic and spontaneous. I mean, this is something also that I say in my course about how to start. For me, something that works for me better than anything else is just opening my phone and talking without any script, any preparation, even any idea of what I'm going to say. Most
Mm,
of the times, my first raw video is the best one out of the 5, 6, 7 attempts I might do later. So, if you have this kind of, you know, specification like me, that I'm more spontaneous, or sometimes, I force myself to be creative by saying to myself, okay, now you jump and you need to fall down, on your own feet. So it works for me because I want to feel the pressure that you need to deliver now.
right.
So it depends on how you react. I mean, I don't like being scripted. I don't like following verbatim words, even if I use a teleprompter app, for example. So it depends on what works for you. Try being spontaneous. Try having a script. Trying to have some bullet points to go through them and say, okay, I have to say 1, 2, 3. So experiment, see what works for you, and double down.
Love it. Love it. Uh, Stavivo. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but we mentioned consistency. Do you have a recipe for how many times to post per week, per day? Of course, there's so many people out there being like, this is when you post and how you post and all of that. Do you have a take on that or opinion?
For me, if you are a content creator who wants to reach millions, so you take content creation seriously, it means that it needs to have a big slot in your day daily. Okay, it's like what you want to achieve. Do you want to play professionally for Chicago Bulls, or you just want to be able to shoot some hoops here in the neighborhood, right? So depending on your objective, I'm going to give you a different training program.
Mm.
Okay, if you want to play for Chicago Bulls, you need to train daily for 6 hours. If you want to play hoops here, okay, a couple of trainings per week, it's fine. So it
Right.
depends on where you want to go and what you want to get. If you want to be a full-time content creator, you need to create content daily. Repurpose to other platforms. Maybe sometimes try to post twice per day, because the more content you put out, the better it is for you and the algorithm.
Right. Well, and that leads wonderfly into Ogana's question, which is, can you talk more about the end goal intention and how we can figure that out? Which I know it's easy. I'm someone who's suffered from having a new goal every week because I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's what. Do you have any advice for like honing in razor's edge on like what is the end goal getting on TikTok?
Well, is that something that somebody else can answer for somebody else? It's not, because you might not be comfortable having a huge following. That it's not easy. Many times you have a pressure for that. You get tons of hating in the comments, and getting emails from people. Somebody emailed me yesterday 3 a.m. in the morning in Greece and told me, you know what, you're great, but I hate your attitude. Your attitude, you believe you're somebody famous or whatever, and I don't like your face, and you should change your clothes. And I was like, what the fuck he's talking about? But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, who cares? I've reached the point to not, really taking what people say personally, because I know that it
Mhm.
comes from them. So, but this might not be the case for you. This might be that can create huge mental health issues for you, or you will be influenced in your daily life, or this will influence how you're going to create content the next day. So the objective and the end goal is different for everybody. If you want to make TikTok your full-time job, this is an end goal, a very decent one, a good one. Huh? So why
Mhm.
not go after that? How to make TikTok your full-time job?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But you, in some way, no one can really sit down and do the soul searching to answer that for you, right? It's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, you need to enjoy it. Huh? You need to enjoy
Yeah.
it. I mean, if if I tell you to train 3 hours per day and you hate the gym, you will never go there.
Right.
So you need to enjoy creating content. I mean, I genuinely love creating videos. I love it. I
Yeah.
love, being in this webinar right now instead of being out in a restaurant with my friends. I love it. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Uh, so if you don't love it and you hate it, you're like one more day, you're like, oh my God, I need to create a video. It's not gonna work for you. So whatever end goal you have in your head, if you don't love the process, it's not gonna work. So the end goal for me is to create a path towards something that you're genuinely passionate about. You love it. Is it nutrition? Is it create comic videos? Is it just talking about personal development, talking about relationships? Doesn't have to be business related, right? Some people just follow their passion. They have a day job and they're
Mhm.
like, okay, will create a TikTok and I will talk about art. I will talk about podcasts. I'm gonna create about hats, whatever. So if you genuinely love about that and you're passionate and you have tons of knowledge that you can share with people, do it. That's a beautiful end goal.
And then maybe that becomes your job someday, right? That's the yeah.
Exactly. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, I love
Why
that.
not?
We got a couple more questions, and then we do have to wrap up just for time's sake. But FYI Dance Club is asking, would you recommend making commercial videos that are aimed at Gen Z the way that huge businesses do? Example, Rayanar, Duolingo. Like, would you recommend that same approach for smaller businesses where it's really targeted, or is
People
that a
need to
little?
understand something really important when it comes to marketing and branding. Every brand has a different life stage. Okay,
Mm,
so Ryanair and Duolingo or Louis Vuitton or Nike, they don't need to introduce themselves. They don't need to build awareness. They don't need to tell you what they are about, okay, and to showcase their benefits or to persuade you to be part of their tribe. But you normally need to do that. You are in a different brand stage. You are in an early stage. You need to drive awareness. You need to build authority first because they have already built authority. Okay,
Mhm.
everybody knows what Ryanair is, although I never fly with them. but, but they don't need to introduce themselves anymore. They have a different kind of because those guys running tons of different surveys about their imaging and what the brand image means to people. And for example, for Ryanair might mean the fact that they're creating content in a funny way or a comic way. They might have an attribute out of a survey, a qualitative survey, that they feel distant in terms of
Mhm.
the image, how people
Mhm.
perceive them, or that they don't know who they are and it's a very serious company or whatever. So they might use this angle in order to go closer to their audience. And
Mhm.
that's how you decide what is the tone of voice of your brand, how you're going to be approaching the platform. But if you're a person, and TikTok, most of the times you're a person, just be yourself.
Mm.
Okay?
Love
If you're a
that.
funny person who loves humor, do it. Don't try, don't be the other something else from what you are normally. It will not
Right.
age well. It will not age well.
Right. And yet it's a great point that like you can't compete with giant companies who have huge budgets developing exactly you have to build the awareness first. Then maybe you can get into that, right? Build the
Yeah.
conglomerate first and then
Yeah,
love it.
they have a specific scope behind their content. They don't do anything by chance or by experimentation. They know exactly what are the don'ts and what are the do's very well
Right.
before they do them.
Right. Love it. Well, I'm seeing one more question here, and we don't have to get too into the weeds here because I'm sure you like get into that with your course. But in general, TikTok, it's a little different. Where you'll see posts with 0 hashtags that have millions of views, and some layered with hashtags that have a lot of views. So Irina's asking, are hashtags necessary in TikTok? Are they different from other platforms such as Instagram? I'm sure you get into detail with your course, but like is there a general strategy or way to pay
Yeah.
attention to that?
So hashtags for me are like, if you are familiar with fitness and working out and going to the gym and trying to build a body, is like working out, eating well, and having supplements in the equation. So for people who don't know that, supplements in your effort to build a body is like 2-3% of the total equation, right? It's all about working out and eating clean when you go home.
Right.
That's 95-97% of the work. It's exactly the same with hashtags. So if you have great content, you don't need to worry about hashtags. Still, they can really help you sometimes in some niches. You need to make the right research and the smart research to use the right tools to do that. But in the overall impact of hashtags in the platform, it doesn't make a huge impact in terms of how fast you're going to grow. It makes a difference on how you categorize your content for people that are searching for specific stuff, or for the algorithm, especially at the beginning, that hasn't yet classified you towards a specific niche. So you
Mhm.
accelerate this effort with using specific hashtags.
I think the analogy to supplements is so on point. Just also in how they're sold, people are like, if you're not using hashtags, that's why you're not, making it. But yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like when you see a protein and you're like, "Oh my God, this is gonna save my body. I'm gonna be like Arnold Schwarzenegger by the end of the summer with this protein." You will not be.
no, no, right? Not unless you work out. You got to do the
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
One more question, just because I love this one and it's so sweet. So Surya's asking, what do you like to do when you are not marketing on TikTok?
Well, I love sports. I love the sea so much. I used to, for people that don't know, I used to be a professional athlete. So I was for many years in the national team of Greece in karate. So sports and water sports are something that I always try to fit in my schedule. So hitting the gym, doing some trekking, doing some cycling, doing some boxing, some surfing, stuff like that are things that I always try to do whenever I have time, because they, fill me with energy to do the things that I need to do.
Right. Well, that's a great point you make too, though, is like you can work hard and try and build a brand on TikTok, but you're going to be miserable if you don't also just live your life outside of it, right? You have to take care of yourself. Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, and that's what I'm telling so often to people, especially on Instagram, that mental health for me is a big subject. It's something that you really need to take care. All those platforms are great, but they can have a toll on your mental health. Where everybody's on a screen every single day for hours. This is not good for you. Humans are not created to be, in front of the screen 15 hours per day. So keep balancing your life, see your friends, go offline, enjoy things that you love. I mean, I love nature, I love the sea. It really recharges me every single time that I go close to the nature and the sea. So that's always a must for me. It's like my organism is starving for that, is asking that. So keep balance and work hard whenever you need to do, but always play and always have fun. It's super important. Super important.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, we're all experiencing digital burnout one way or another, right? Good.
Yeah.
Take care.
Whatever.
Well, we do have to wrap up for time. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. I appreciate Konstantinos so much. You're just wholehearted approach to what you can do with TikTok, but also like to balance with your other passions and make sure that you're building something that you're gonna want to have. You don't want to have 1.7 million followers for a business you don't like, right? And you don't want to be
Exactly.
an unhappy person. So, before we wrap up, though, I do like to just ask kind of like a one wrap up question because I know from personal experience and experience of other people, like even if you have a course and some guidance, it can help. But there are those points where you think your first video is going to go viral, or you've been working for a month and haven't had something work, or those humps where you're feeling like I should throw this all away. Do you have any advice for getting over those humps or analyzing if that's a valid feeling and continuing on the journey when they come? Because it can be disheartening when you post a video and you get 2 views, or some, like you said, someone's on there like, you suck, you're the worst. Like
Yeah, it's for me. It's the same. Like you join the gym, you have a
Mhm.
good training, you go there for a couple of hours, and then you go back. You take off your clothes and go in front of the mirror, and you're like, "What happened? Nothing changed. My body's the
Right.
same." So guess what? It's not gonna change overnight. It's not gonna change over a week. It's not gonna change over a month. So keep doing it, and that's why I'm saying start falling in love with the content creation process. Love it. Okay, start to enjoy it. If you don't love it the way I show it, find a way that you love it. Find a
Mhm.
content creation way. Might not be TikTok, might be YouTube, might be you writing an article. So content creation might be audio as well, a podcast. So find your route, find your way, find what you love creating, and create more of that. It's as simple as that. Okay, so don't get obsessed with numbers, your daily growth. Don't compare to others and how fast they grow. Oh, Konstantinos was already in 2 months into 300K or whatever. So there's a journey behind that that you don't know. I'm 22 years in marketing.
Right.
I might hit this number in 8 months, but there was a 22-year old career behind that with value experiences, failures. So you need to see the full picture every single time before you compare with somebody. Okay, and always the personality matters. I mean, if I create a video, the same verbatim video with you today on a channel that has the same amount of followers, you might get 5 million views and I might get 50,000 views. There are
Right.
other parameters as well. your
Right.
your personality might be more attractive than mine, or the way that you look on camera. So those things also matter.
Yeah. So you have to take it all. Yeah. I appreciate
Yeah.
that so much. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for being so active and asking such good questions. If you had a good time, you learned something, please like and subscribe to the Discover channel. We're trying to bring more creators and entrepreneurs and just general good creative people like Konstantinos out here to share all their knowledge and just grow this community. And once again, the links for the course are in the comments. They're also in the description there. And the discount there is only for a day. So take advantage of it. You can get it after that. but it's only for a day there. And hop in the comments. Yeah, thank Konstantinos for his time. Thank you for being here. Let
Thank you
us know
so much,
something you
guys.
learned. Yeah,
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much.
yeah. Thank you all. We'll see you all soon.
Thank you, John.